Luke Beckman from Central Valley Ag is our grain market analyst this week. 7 states have begun corn planting season according to the latest USDA crop progress report. Texas farmers lead the nation, having sown 46% of their crop. Overall, U.S. growers have put 2% of this year's corn in the ground, 1% behind this time in 2014, and 3 points behind the country's 5-year average. Luke joined us to look at markets Wednesday afternoon. Corn and soybean markets struggled last week, and to start this week, they turned around Tuesday. What's influencing prices?
Well, right now, a lot of it's money flow. Commodities in general have been pretty soft. U.S. dollars kind of had a return to higher levels, and it's just been a broad-based commodity kind of sell-off. Wheat, with the weather being a little bit beneficial to some of that, has been kind of a leader to the downside. So a little bit of recovery Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of a dead cat bounce, if you will. We can't go down every day. Yeah. So really nothing material outside of that. I did have some friendly numbers from the crush for soybeans on Wednesday as well.
Crush numbers released Wednesday, the best March ever. What else?
Really, they're looking at, a crush number that did come in well above expectations, 162.8 for the month of March, very good. Really, soybean meal use was kind of the story there. Huge swing from where we were in February. So not sure if we can tie that back to maybe more hogs on feed than what we thought. We kind of got indications of that back at the quarterly hogs and pigs report some time ago. So maybe some of that playing into soybean numbers.
So as Nebraska farmers start to hit the fields here, do you have a better idea of the breakdown between corn acres versus soybean acres for 2015?
You go back to the planting intentions report, corn acres flatlined from a year ago, bean acres just a shade softer. Nebraska producer seems like the rotation is fairly strict about what the producer is going to do. So really don't look for anything material in Nebraska to develop either way. Certainly think weather dictates that in the short term here. Looks like we're going to have an opportunity to plant corn. I continue to believe that Nebraska producers are good at that. So I think corn acres are going to hold in there pretty strong.
So does that soybean acre number, does that surprise you at all? The drop of 300,000 acres would be the largest in the country, or do you think that could come to fruition here if the weather holds?
The numbers where they're at, everybody was talking for much larger soybean acres nationally. Really didn't get it. So like I said, I think that if we do have good weather here in late April, early May, I really think that you see the corn acres at least stay where they're at or grow possibly, and that probably keeps the soybean number in check from where it's at today. So that could maybe be a bright spot for the beans.
So we talked about soybean meal usage. Feed demand, is that a number that you guys see that could be changed in future USDA reports, and why?
Absolutely on the corn side. I mean, you look at the quarterly stocks number and immediately everybody's talking about, well, the feed number's way too high. USDA then, simple 9 days later, goes ahead and takes feed demand down by 50 million bushels. So conversations and thoughts are that the USDA is going to step into that, and they're going to continue to lower feed demand in subsequent reports. All of a sudden, the June 30th stocks report, certainly interesting. It's a ways off, but something for producers to be, mindful of and thinking about that, if corn's feeling like that feed number is going to continue to work lower, June 30th could kind of be the revelation that is in fact the case.
Describe how basis has moved in both corn and soybeans.
It's very firm right now. The board has been falling. It's been very flat. Producers not really engaged in selling anything, and who can blame him? This is a time of year where the producer is going to turn his attention to the field. So I really anticipate basis to remain firm. I think if we get some type of rally in corn, soybeans, that producer's probably selling, late May type periods, June shipment when he can actually get it moved. So basis values for the spot in the short term probably stay firm just because of the time of the year. If
they get that rally for, let's say, old crop corn, where might you pull the trigger at?
I think on the board you have to take a look at May futures, right around 390. You've got major support at 367. I think we just kind of bounce around in between there. Again, that 390 is just kind of the upper end of that range. So corn's been confined there for 3 months. I think it's a number you've got to sell if we get up there. And then take that equivalent to the July futures because we'll be rolling soon.
Into the 2015 new crop, where would corn and soybeans be attractive at?
Upper levels of December corn at 420. That's kind of been that range that we've seen. If producers don't have anything started, that's definitely a level I think we need to look at getting something on the books. Soybeans, $9.75, $9 cash out of the field if you have to sell it. Those types of numbers we need to be engaging. Probably thinking that beans need to happen before corn if you had to make that choice.
Looking further ahead into 2016, where would your targets be there?
Same thing on corn. If we get 430, 435 up to 450, 430, 35 is kind of in the top on the corn. Soybeans, if you're just under $10 on the Board of Trade, probably a good spot for some early sales.